I am a shareholder of Tesla. I think Elon Musk has his faults. He's a guy. He's a smart guy. Started a bunch of companies, made a lot of money, richest guy on the planet. You'd be an idiot to say that man is not smart. AOC did. Well, she's wrong. Donald Trump, also a billionaire. You have to be hardworking and smart to get to these levels. Guys, I got to tell you, it is not easy to be a billionaire. Now, some people may have it easier. Maybe they're smart. They got the talent, whatever it may be, but it requires hard work, nonstop, 24/7. And if you follow Elon Musk on his socials on X, you know the dude's basically active 24/7. He never stops working. Never stops. And it's kind of wild for a dude with so many kids. Smart guy, though. As a shareholder of Tesla, I believe that Elon Musk's leadership will make more money for my my stock, the shares that I have. I don't have a lot, but I have enough. I have more than the guy who sued. So here's what happened. Some person sues saying Elon should not get his multi-billion dollar, like $70 million pay package as CEO. I mean, it's his company. So a judge in Delaware denied it. Yeah, big mistake. Now, I got pissed because I'm like, dude, if Elon Musk is disincentivized on Tesla and moves on to other companies, that's going to affect my stock value. A vote was held. I personally was asked to vote, and I said Elon should get his money. I'm not the biggest shareholder. I mean, just take a look at what I got. Nothing super big. But I'm a big fan of Tesla. I own 3 Teslas. Okay, I like them. And I don't want to say too much, but even 6 figures. Okay, I want the stock to go up. It's good for me. And I like the company. The judge defied the will of the shareholders. That's an insult to me personally. Well, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's backfiring. Delaware judge went after Musk. Now Delaware is losing corporations at an alarming rate. The far left psychotic behavior from a rogue judge is burning the state to the ground. Delaware, for those that don't know, is famous for its tax law and its trust law. And they're basically like, start your company in Delaware, even if you're not really there. And you get like a registered agent and a P.O. box or something. I don't know if that's actually how you do it, because I think it's nasty. And then you save money on taxes and registration and things like this. Well, now Meta is saying they're going to ditch Delaware and go to Texas. They're currently incorporated in Delaware. It's a common thing, and they're getting out. You reap what you sow. Talk about backfiring. It's kind of crazy. The deep state, these shills, the far left lunatics keep trying to make these moves, and all it's doing is hurting them. So I'm glad to see it. I am. Get out of Delaware. People came to us. They always do this. I am, to the best of my ability, a man of integrity. And so they came to me and said, Tim, why don't you incorporate in Delaware? And I said, I don't live in Delaware. And they're like, yeah, but every company does it. You rent a space or whatever, start a company. Your headquarters will be there. You have a registered agent who handles your business stuff, but you can be wherever you want. And I was like, why would you do that? Oh, it's cheaper on taxes. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm going to operate in the state where I operate. I want to make my community better. I don't care for whatever this is. I'm not going to buy Chinese products. I'm not cutting corners. And I'm glad that I never did, because, man, we'd be scrambling. And I think it's hypocritical. So wake up call. But Elon's moving to Texas. So is Meta. Here's a story from Hot Air. They say, remember last year when an activist Delaware judge invalidated Elon Musk's compensation package at Tesla twice, despite it having been overwhelmingly approved by stockholders twice? The compensation package was unconventional. He wouldn't get paid unless he delivered extraordinary results. He multiplied the value of the company by tenfold, which is shareholders approved by the package. He made them extremely wealthy, and they rewarded him by making him even wealthier. Yeah, like, again, I'm looking at my returns on Tesla. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. And I think Elon did a really great job. I don't have a lot. Okay. I got more than a lot of people. That's for sure. Come on. I'm not trying to be a dick or brag or anything. I'm just saying I have a little bit relative to the size of Tesla. And I appreciate when my investments work out. They say he put it all on the line, performed, and the judge took it away. Gave it to a bunch of lawyers. The judge was, by the way, closely tied to the Biden crime family. They say, oh, wow, that's crazy. Delaware, of course, is Biden territory. And Biden was engaged in a war on Elon. That's right. The judge awarded attorney's fees to the lawyers who blocked Elon's pay package, which she claimed was excessive, and the numbers were staggering. The Delaware verdict awards the plaintiff's attorneys $17,692 per hour for suing Tesla. $345 million. The judge claims it's worth it because they litigated effectively and overcame hurdles. I wouldn't pay it. That's clearly unconstitutional. I would argue illegal. No wonder everybody in corporate America freaked out. If you were targeted by politicians, your entire business could be destroyed. Well, FAFO, you know what that means. Major corporations are fleeing Delaware so fast, the governor himself is squealing and looking for a way to repair the reputation of the state. As the most corporate-friendly nation, it is a genuine crisis. Wow, man. Here is a list of companies that have moved out of Delaware. Tesla, SpaceX, Boring Company, Neuralink, X Corp. Okay, that's obvious. That's all Elon. TripAdvisor, Meta, Fidelity National, Newsmax, Sonoma, Bill. Wow. Bill's big. They do invoicing. Dropbox, TransPerfect. Somewhere around 15 to 20% of Delaware's budget comes from corporate franchise taxes. For years, venture capital has pretty much required firms to invest to incorporate. Dropbox is also leaving Delaware. It's happening. Wow, man. Now the opposite is the case, all due to the attack on Elon Musk as a part of the vendetta a single judge had. Delaware is facing a further exodus from companies. Yeah, we heard Meta. Delaware courts deciding to go woke might end up being the biggest case of economic seppuku in world history. Wow. The scale of the disaster is incalculable. Texas and Nevada have become the preferred destination for incorporation, not just for new companies, but for some of the largest corporations in the world. The uncertainty that one judicial decision can cause will likely cost Delaware taxpayers billions of dollars. Take a look at this. Leave Delaware. The Delaware governor has responded to companies leaving, saying, quote, It's really important we get it right for Elon Musk or whoever the litigants are in Delaware courts. We're cognizant that there may be some things that need to change. We're going to work on them. Bye. Have a nice day. Blue states that have effed around for a very long time over the past few years have been creeping. Ernest Hemingway famously said that going bankrupt is a process that happens gradually over time as bad decisions are made, but comes suddenly as a tipping point. How did you go bankrupt? Gradually, then suddenly. It's like eating your seed corn. Everything is great until it runs out, then comes starvation. Let me tell you a story, my friends. You know my complaints. I'm surprised it went as viral as it did when I said we were upset with West Virginia. I'll give you some new information. So we've been operating as per our lawyers and accountants' instruction largely. West Virginia, along with, 34 other states have implemented these new laws banning individuals from working for themselves. Now, maybe I'm being a little cute. These laws are largely called like identifying independent contractor laws. Let me tell you about how West Virginia does it. Well, let me start like this. California passed what was called SB 5. I think it was called SB 5. And they said, no, because of Uber and DoorDash and whatever, you can't contract people to work this way. Uber basically said the people who use our app are using a social media app to connect with people who need rides. So if you're a driver and you want to offer rides, the app connects you. And they went, nope, those are employees. So Uber paid a big fine. I don't know exactly what happened with it, but California passes this law where they basically said, if you're an independent contractor and you provide your service more than 30 times to a company, you're an employee, effectively ending the right to be an individual and work for yourself. Let me explain. I think the number was 30. Let's say you're a writer and you have 10 clients. You're a freelance writer who works for a bunch of news outlets. This is what actually happened. And you say, I write one article a week for website X. I write 3 articles a week for website Y, but I write 10 articles a week for website Z. I need those websites X and Y to supplement my income because website Z only wants 10 articles. After 3 weeks, you are now an employee of Z, and you cannot work for these other companies, slashing your revenue, slashing your income. So what happens? These media companies fired everyone and said, we will no longer buy from you out of California. Why? I don't want to work for one company. I want to write articles and sell them to my clients. Not allowed anymore. Here's how West Virginia did it. West Virginia effectively made it illegal for a 16-year-old to offer to mow the lawn of his neighbor. Yeah. Effectively. Now, they want to argue like, no, that's fine. But they give themselves broad leeway in enforcing these actions against you. We've already lost 2 people because of the state's insane BS laws. There's a bunch of politicians who are upset and they're like, I can't believe this happened. But guys, y'all passed this law 3 years ago. Well, almost 4 years ago now in 2021, right before we invested in West Virginia, didn't know the law was happening in West Virginia, didn't realize it. My fault. My fault. It's hard to look for something you don't know exists, to be fair, but I figured West Virginia wouldn't pull something like this. Where we are currently at is that West Virginia has basically given itself the broad powers to determine whether or not you're allowed to hire someone to contract. If they've got a problem with you, they'll claim that you're not allowed to do it. That's it. Broadly speaking, West Virginia has a law that says it is illegal now to be an individual offering your services. Broadly speaking. What they do is they say, if you are doing any work that aligns with the core elements of the business, you're an employee. It's like, we're a media company, and sometimes we contract a film producer to make one film. Employee. Well, I'm not going to hire someone as an employee and then have them go through all the benefit process only to quit 3 days later because they filmed one thing over the weekend. Yep. They say that you have to have term contracts. I don't want to do term contracts. That's right. Everyone who works for you as a contractor has to be under a term. They can't quit. It's absolutely insane. So anyway, I bring this up because these far left policies and laws that are being enacted in places like Delaware, although this is different as a judge, and in West Virginia are destroying our ability to run our businesses effectively. And there's only 16 states that don't have this psychotic law. If somebody wants to do a job periodically where they show up, do something and then leave, they're a contractor. If someone's providing their service to me and a bunch of other people, they're a contractor. But what they're claiming is you have to fulfill 3 criteria to be qualified as a contractor. And so that means if you're talent and you contract to appear in a certain number of shows, but you don't contract anybody else, maybe you don't want to, and you don't have a term contract, nope, employee. What? We can't do that. So we've already lost 2 people. I am beyond angry with this state. I am disgusted by it. A bunch of the local politicians, the state level politicians are like, we will fix this. We will fix this. Well, guys, stop taking enforcement action against us. They expect me to accept favors from the government. I'm not doing it. You want to send your people our way and tell us that this law is in effect? I will leave. I'll join Elon Musk. We'll figure it out. Don't get me wrong. I think Texas does the same thing. Tennessee does the exact same thing. West Virginia actually has one of the worst interpretations of the law. They require you to start to form a business and get to form an LLC and get a business license. So what ends up happening? There's one circumstance where we contracted someone for literally a draft report. And they said, nope, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, wait, what? We don't design these things. We don't do general contracting. We asked an individual to do a draft report and they said, you're not allowed. And I said, then your state is garbage. Your state is garbage. That means you can't work here. So be it. Man, I'm sick of this. I'm so sick of this. Shout out to Elon Musk. You reap what you sow, Delaware. I'm going to stop ranting on the West Virginia problem, but I'm really pissed about it. These laws that they are passing across the country, these ABC contractor laws, are the you will live in the pod and you will eat the bugs laws. If you are an individual, you're 20 years old in West Virginia, and you decide that you want to do contract work for a series of clients, can't do it. The business is going to say, sorry, we can't do it because the law was passed saying you're not allowed to work for yourself. You want to be an employee? No, I don't want to be an employee. I produce widgets and I want to sell my widgets to this business. Sorry. Let's say there's a bakery and you go in there and say, hey, look, I run a bakery. I can sell you this every morning. I'll come in and I'll give you these products and they'll go, sorry, it's too similar to what we do as a business. You have to be an employee here. Well, I don't want to be an employee because it's a proprietary recipe that I own and I don't want you to have. Sorry, can't do it. Can't do it. You own IP. As an employee, the company gets it. That's it. Sorry, have a nice day. So you will not be able to work. It is scumbag, evil, disgusting garbage because the state didn't want to deal with enforcing tax law on their own. So they decided to ban individuals' right to work. Evil. And I'm ragging on West Virginia because I'm here. But like I said, 34 states have done this. So, and the rest are probably going to do it too. Whatever, man. I'll wrap it up there. Become a member at timcast.com. Support our work. People are asking what we're going to do. We might just go back to Maryland, which has similar laws, but they don't enforce it the same way. I don't know what else to do. You know what I mean? Because these states are all scumbaggery. Now, some people are saying, stay in West Virginia, get them to fix it. Okay, West Virginia, fix it. Fix it now. Hold a special legislative session right now with Governor Morrissey. Get all the people together and say, we are abolishing this stupid law we passed 4 years ago. I'm over it. People are, they're messaging me saying the governor wants to talk to you. And I'm like, I do not accept favors. I will not. I was saying this before. I don't want to buy Chinese products. I don't want to incorporate in Delaware. And I don't want to have to go to the governor or a state rep or a delegate and say, please do a favor for me because your state's garbage. Now, look, West Virginia is largely a beautiful place with great people and great stuff. I'm just pissed about this one thing, but it's really bad. What happened was, part of the law says that you have to contractually require people to file their taxes, which makes no sense. It's not my responsibility. That's your responsibility to enforce your tax law. Because of Uber and DoorDash and these other apps, the state was concerned people wouldn't file their taxes properly and they couldn't track it. So they passed a law banning independent contracting to force people to be employees so that the business would have to file the tax on behalf of the employee. I ain't playing that game. I think the appropriate move we can make is just to relocate back to Maryland, and West Virginia was a mistake. There's a lot of reasons why I think it was, unfortunately. You know, when we were at the castle, we were able to produce the bits, the castle bits. We have a hard time doing that with a multi-building property. We have 3 structures, basically. It's a lot harder to do. We didn't have the skate park, so I like the skate park. I really do. We can do a lot there, but even that's been hard to get off the ground. So it's a little further away from D.C., which has made booking a little bit more challenging. And I'm like, honestly, I think relocating back to maybe Virginia makes a lot of sense. Virginia's a lot better on the independent contractor law. And so we were thinking, like, what if we go to Virginia? We tried Maryland. We tried West Virginia. Maybe Virginia's the way to do it. But, yeah, I don't know. We're looking at being closer to D.C. for booking. We'll see. I'm so pissed off about this stuff. But bravo to Elon. Screw you, Delaware. I'll wrap it up there. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all tonight in Timcast IRL.